This is Sittie Kryslim V. Federa, and I have been sent by the gods in Greece, that Zeus, to tell you the story of Oedipus. Let's begin! The story of Oedipus started by a Delphic oracle as given by one of my good friends, and that is in the person of god Apollo. He said that King Laius would die at the hands of his own son. King Laius feared for this to happen, so what King Laius did was that when his first child with Jocasta, by the way, Jocasta is his wife, so when their first son was born, he had the feet of the child bound together with a pin. And then he ordered Jocasta to kill the child immediately. However, for Jocasta, it was very difficult to kill her own child. So what Jocasta did was that she ordered a shepherd from Thebes to kill the child. But the shepherd could also not kill the innocent child. So what the shepherd did was that he brought the child up the top of the hill and left him there to die out of exposure. Many years later, King Laius died, but he believed that it was because a band of robbers killed him on his way to Delphi. We never thought that in his death he has approved of the truth of the oracle of Apollo. But the death of King Laius was not very much investigated. It was because during that time, Thebes was under the fear of this monster called the Sphinx. The Sphinx is a creature, it is a monster with the body of a lion, and it also has wings, and it looks like a woman with also the breast of the woman. Whoever she captures, she tells them this riddle, and whoever could not answer the riddle, she would devour them and leave no trace of them behind. Then one day, one man from Corinth came marching up to Thebes and walked right in front of the Sphinx. But before I tell you what he did to the Sphinx, let me tell you first who this man is. This man is named Oedipus. Oedipus is from the kingdom of Corinth, and Corinth is led during that time by King Polybus and his wife Merope. King Polybus and Merope are the parents of this Oedipus. However, Oedipus ran away from Corinth. This is because Apollo said that Oedipus is bound to marry his mother and have children with him, and those children would be monsters that all men would shudder to look at. Oedipus, like King Laius, did not want the oracle to happen, and that is the reason why he ran away from Corinth. In the course of his desolate wanderings, he heard of the story of the Sphinx, and that developed his determination to answer the riddle of the Sphinx and to once and for all save Thebes. So when Oedipus arrived in Thebes, he faced the frightful monster. And the monster said, "What creature goes on 4 feet at morning, on 2 at noonday, and on 3 in the afternoon?" Oedipus said, "Man." And that was the answer that the Sphinx was looking for. It is because when the man is still a child, he walks on 4 feet through crawling. And at noonday, the man can stand in an upright position using only 2 feet. And when he is old, he would be having to use a staff to guide him as he walks. Because of this, the Sphinx killed herself. The whole Thebes rejoiced, and they hailed Oedipus as their king. And as the king, he married Jocasta, the wife of the late King Laius. For how many years they have lived happily, they even had 4 children. However, when their sons had grown to manhood, Thebes was visited by a terrible plague. Amongst everyone, Oedipus was the one who suffered a lot. It is because he considers himself as the father of Thebes, and whatever his people suffered, he suffered even more. And so, Oedipus was desperate to find a solution, and so he sent Jocasta's brother, Creon, to the gods to ask for help. Many days later, Creon marched up to Thebes bringing good news. He said that the only way to stop the plague was to find the man who killed King Laius and have him punished. Oedipus was very confident that they would be able to find the man. In order to help them find the murderer of King Laius, he called Tiresias. Tiresias is a blind prophet that is most revered in Thebes. However, Tiresias refused to give the answer, and this maddened Oedipus. This is because Oedipus thought that the reason why Tiresias could not say anything is because he himself is an accomplice in the murder. And this also maddened Tiresias, and he shouted back at Oedipus, "You are yourself the murderer you seek." Oedipus was very much confused of what Tiresias said, but instead of believing in him, he ordered him out of his sight, and he said that he would never want to see Tiresias ever again. Of course, Jocasta came to comfort Oedipus. And so, Jocasta said that Oedipus must never believe in prophets. It is because there was once in her life with King Laius that they have been said that King Laius would end up being killed by his own son. And this did not happen. This made Jocasta and Oedipus very confident that whatever Tiresias said is not the truth. And Jocasta also shared to Oedipus how King Laius was killed, and this, she made sure, was not because of their child. She said that a robber killed King Laius together with his men on their way to Delphi where the three roads met. So, Oedipus explained that the reason why he came to Thebes was also because he ran away from a previously given oracle that stated that he would end up killing his father, marrying his mother, and bear children with her. And so, he avoided this from happening through running away. However, on his way to Thebes, he met this man with 4 guards who guarded him, and he ended up killing the man and leaving only one behind. He even asked Jocasta if the leader could be King Laius himself. However, at that exact moment, one messenger from Corinth arrived to bring the news that King Polybus has died. This gave some sort of comfort to Oedipus because the oracle was once again proven false because he did not end up killing his father, who is King Polybus. But he was still worried that he might still end up marrying his mother, who is in the person of Merope. But the messenger also had another news. He did not want Oedipus to think that he would end up having an incest marriage with his mother. This is because the messenger knows the truth about Oedipus's personality. The messenger was the one who brought Oedipus to King Polybus and Merope when he was still a child. Oedipus was very much confused, but not Jocasta, because Jocasta knew what really was happening, and so she ran away from them and hid in her secret room in the palace. What then happened was that an old messenger from Thebes came to the exact place where they were talking. The messenger from Corinth recognized the man. "Wait, I recognize you," he said. "You were the one who gave me the child. And the child that you gave me, he is this child, because I gave him to King Polybus and Queen Merope in order for them to take care of him." The messenger from Thebes refused to say anything. However, Oedipus threatened his life. He said that, "If you do not tell the truth, I would kill you." "Yes, it is true," the messenger said. "King Laius himself gave you to me when you were still a child, but I could not bear to kill you. That is the reason why I gave you to a messenger from Corinth." because of this, everything was clear for Oedipus. Indeed, the oracle was proven to be true. He did not know what to feel at that exact time, but then he noticed when he looked around. He noticed that Jocasta was not there anymore. So, he searched for Jocasta all over the palace, and he saw her. She killed herself. Jocasta killed herself because she could not accept the truth that the oracle really did happen. Oedipus felt so sad. This is because all this time he was blinded by the truth. Yes, he had vision, but he could not see the truth. He did not even know who he is, but at that exact time, he was certain he is Oedipus, the tragic Oedipus. And because of so much sorrow that he felt, he removed his eyes. He plucked his eyes out. This is because he said to himself, what is the purpose of having physical vision when you are blind to the truth about yourself and to the truth about the world? And the story of King Oedipus leaves us with a lesson. Do not be blind to the truth, or else the truth of the world will blind you. Thank you very much for listening to my story, and I hope that the next time the gods would ask me to tell you another story again, you would still be here with me and enjoy another story time. Thank you very much and goodbye!